Ready for a deep dive. Today, we're wading into some seriously high-tech farmlands. We're talking Internet of Things, or IoT, and how it's changing the game for livestock.
Yeah, no more just cows chilling in a field. This research paper, IoT applications for livestock management and health monitoring in modern farming that we're diving into today, really breaks down how sensors and data are changing things for farmers and their animals.
So, less Old MacDonald and more like, I don't know, Silicon Valley, but with cows.
Pretty much. Think of it like this. Every cow gets its own profile, like on a social network, constantly updating with info on its location, how active it is, even its temperature, all from these crazy sensors.
Hold on, so no more farmer just like eyeballing things and using their gut.
Well, a good farmer's intuition is still super valuable, but now it's backed up by data, hard data. This paper really traces the whole evolution of farming tech, from simple tools to plows to like big machines and now this IoT thing. It's like that next big leap forward, bring all this data right down to each animal.
Okay, so it's not just, I've got a herd. It's, I know exactly what's up with Bessie. But like, how? What kind of tech are we talking?
You got those RFID tags, kind of like a microchip, gives each animal its own ID. It's basically like a really advanced barcode at the grocery store, but instead of just telling you the price, it tells you everything about that cow.
So, high-tech cattle branding, that's wild. What else?
And then there's GPS trappers, like what you've got on your phone. Farmers can see exactly where their animals are, super helpful for huge ranches.
Talk about keeping tabs on the herd. This research paper also mentioned these things called biometric sensors. That sounds intense.
It is. Think like a Fitbit, but for a cow. It can monitor heart rate, temperature, even just how much it's moving around. All this data tells the farmer if an animal's healthy and doing okay.
So, like, even before a cow shows signs of being sick, the farmer gets a heads up.
Exactly. That early detection is key. There's this thing, mastitis, a nasty infection dairy cows can get. This paper talked about a dairy farm in the Netherlands using these sensors to catch mastitis super early on. They can treat it faster and stop it from spreading to the whole herd.
That's incredible. But hold on, with all this data, how does a farmer even process it all? Are we talking spreadsheets for days?
That's the cool part. All those sensors, they feed into a central system, either on the farm or up in the cloud, basically creating a brain for the whole operation.
Okay, so like a high-tech mission control for the farm.
Mm.
What are farmers actually seeing?
Think dashboards, reports, giving them a clear picture of everything from an animal's health records to whether their feeding schedule is actually working. It takes all that raw data and turns it into something useful.
This is blowing my mind, and we're just getting started. We've covered the basics of IoT on the farm, even saw it in action. But I'm guessing there's a lot more to unpack, right? What else does this research say about these technologies?
Yeah, for sure. We've only just scratched the surface of how this tech can make animals' lives better, make farms more efficient, and even give farmers a financial boost. Back again. Ready to dig a little deeper into how this tech is changing things on the farm.
Definitely. Last time we were talking about cows with their own, like, Fitbits. The thing that really gets me is how this could be a total game changer for animal welfare.
Yeah, totally. We touched on that early disease detection thing, but it goes way beyond that. Imagine a farmer, right? They can actually tweak the environment in the barn based on what the sensors are telling them.
Like a personalized climate control system, but for cows.
Exactly. Perfect temperature, humidity, even air quality. Keep those animals happy and healthy. And because those sensors are always watching, farmers can pick up on even tiny changes in behavior, stuff they might not even notice otherwise.
Okay, so like what kind of changes are we talking about?
Let's say a cow is moving around a little less than usual. That could be an early sign of lameness, which is a big problem for dairy cows and beef cattle. If you can catch that early, you can prevent a lot of suffering and save the farmer a huge headache.
Wow, so it's not just about fixing a problem, it's about stopping it before it even starts.
Exactly. And that leads to a whole bunch of other good stuff, like making the farm more efficient, more productive. Healthier animals mean lower vet bills, less medication, that kind of thing.
Makes sense. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And, I mean, more efficient farming helps everybody, right?
100%. This research paper talked about automated feeding systems. Like, imagine if you could create a custom diet for every single animal based on their individual needs.
No more, like, one-size-fits-all feeding trough.
Exactly. Precision nutrition, they call it. Make sure each animal is getting exactly what it needs so they grow faster and there's less waste. Good for the animals, great for the farmer's bottom line. And don't even get me started on water and energy. Sensors can help farmers use less water for irrigation, find leaks, even adjust the temperature and ventilation in the barn to save energy.
So it's like every single part of the farm can be fine-tuned.
Mhm.
But what about the farmers themselves? Are they actually seeing the benefits in their wallets?
Oh, yeah. This isn't just about saving money, though. It can actually help them make more money.
Really? How so?
Well, think about the people buying the food, right? More and more. They want to know where their food comes from, that it was raised ethically, sustainably.
Yeah, transparency is huge these days. I know I look for that at the grocery store.
Exactly. And this tech makes that kind of transparency possible. Imagine being able to trace your steak back to the farm where that cow lived, knowing it was treated well, raised sustainably.
And knowing that, some people are willing to pay more, right?
Right. Exactly. It's premium pricing for a premium product. Plus, it helps farmers meet all these new regulations and standards in the food industry. This tech is becoming essential, not just a nice thing to have.
Sounds like a win-win for everybody.
Oh, and there's one more benefit I haven't even mentioned: data-driven breeding programs.
Wait, hold up. Data-driven what now? Like eHarmony, but for cows?
Not quite. It's about collecting data on individual animals over their entire lives. Farmers can use that data to figure out which genetic traits they want to encourage.
So, like, if a farmer wants cows that produce more milk or are less likely to get sick, they can use this data to breed for those traits.
Exactly. It's all about using data to create the healthiest, most productive herds possible.
This is seriously impressive stuff. But I have to imagine it can't all be easy, right? What about the challenges?
Oh, there are definitely challenges. In fact, this research paper talks about that too. It goes into some of the potential downsides and like real-world hurdles.
And we're back. So we've covered a lot of ground about this high-tech farming revolution, but I know there's got to be another side to this story. What about the challenges, the, like, hold your horses moments?
Yeah, for sure. It's not all sunshine and roses. One of the biggest hurdles is something most of us take for granted: internet access.
Oh, right, because what good are all those fancy sensors if you can't actually get the data off the farm?
Exactly. And remember, we're talking about real-time data here. A spotty connection could mean a farmer misses a crucial alert about an animal's health.
So how do you solve that, especially in more rural areas where high-speed internet isn't really an option?
It's a huge challenge. This research paper, they actually address that head on. Some governments and companies are finally starting to realize how important it is to expand broadband in those areas.
That's good.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, what can farmers do? Are there any workarounds?
Some farmers are getting creative. Some are using satellite internet, even though it can be pricey.
Got to weigh those costs and benefits.
For sure. The cool thing is, tech is always changing. There are these new low-power, wide-area networks popping up, perfect for farms because they can cover, like, crazy distances.
Okay, so connectivity might be getting better, but what about keeping all that data safe? I mean, we're talking about a ton of sensitive info, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something everyone's worried about. And it's not just about protecting the farmer's business. It's also about, well, the animal's privacy.
Animal privacy. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, it makes sense.
Right. The more data we have on these animals, the more we need to be careful about how it's used, who has access, all of that.
So what can we actually do to make sure that animal data is used responsibly?
The basics, strong passwords, all that cybersecurity stuff we've heard a million times, but on a much bigger scale.
Right, because a farm isn't just your laptop.
Exactly. But it goes deeper than that. We need rules, regulations about how this data can be used, especially by, like, other companies. Should a farmer be allowed to just sell data about their cows to, let's say, a big pharmaceutical company? It's tricky.
It feels like technology always moves faster than, like, our ability to figure out all the implications. We've got to be having these conversations.
100%. And that leads to another question, a big one. Is there a line when it comes to monitoring these animals?
What do you mean?
Well, all this tech can definitely help animals, but what if it goes too far? At what point are we just turning these animals into, like, walking data points?
That's a good point. It's about finding that balance, using this tech to help animals without forgetting that they're, well, living creatures.
Yeah, and that's on everyone. Farmers, tech people, even us, the consumers.
It's been a wild ride today. We've gone from cows with Fitbits to some really big questions. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.